All right, thank you everyone. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us today. So myself and another admissions counselor, Elizabeth, are going to be presenting the next steps, the very important steps you guys definitely need to be following as admitted students. But first, let me quickly introduce myself. My name is Ani Subatic. I'm a senior admissions counselor here at Winthrop University Office of Admissions. I have seen a lot of familiar names today. So hi guys, welcome, good to see you again. And for anyone that I haven't met, I'm so happy to meet you. And before we start with the next steps, I'll let Elizabeth introduce herself as well.
Yes, good morning, everyone. And again, just to reiterate what Ani said, we are so excited for you to join us today and to hear more about our next steps for our admitted students. It's a wonderful opportunity for you all to learn about your next steps that you need to complete in order to be officially enrolled at Winthrop. And like Ani said, my name is Elizabeth. I am one of our other admissions counselors here. So again, I'm very happy for you all to join us today, and I do hope you enjoy your Winthrop Day experience today. All right, so we're going to get into our steps for our admitted students here. Our first step is going to be to file the FAFSA. Now, with the FAFSA, you do need to complete this. That way you can get any federal aid that is available for you. This FAFSA gives you loans and grants from the government, and it is very important that you submit it, even if you don't know that you're going to receive a financial aid offer or anything. Now, with our financial aid package and everything, a FAFSA is required to receive it from Winthrop. So do make sure you complete your FAFSA. Our code is very easy. It is 003456. All right, and our next step here is going to be to complete your Winthrop email. So this is our second step, and it is a very significant step in order to create your student account. So your email is soon going to be the university's primary form of contact to reach you, and it is also required to create your Wingspan student account. So your Wingspan account helps you do anything that you do need to complete at Winthrop, including a number of steps like registering for orientation, housing, and accepting your financial aid. So you will be able to create your email and Wingspan account by going to the admitted student checklist, and the link can be found on this slide here as well.
All right, thank you so much, Elizabeth. Now moving on to the next step. So paying the enrollment deposit. So the enrollment deposit is $300, and we do ask for it upfront. It's a part of tuition we ask for upfront, and it covers also the cost of orientation, and it's to save your spot into Winthrop's incoming class. You can pay your enrollment deposit through your Wingspan account. Notice how Elizabeth and I have been emphasizing that Wingspan account is going to be kind of like your life and soul at Winthrop. It is your identity at Winthrop. So definitely want to make sure you have that account set up. You'll do a lot of things through here. And that enrollment deposit is due May 1st. Instructions on how to pay it have actually been posted to your application portal, which is that account you guys created when you applied. But we also sent you guys a little booklet in the mail a couple weeks ago, kind of looks like a little journal. And in that journal is also detailed steps and guide to paying that deposit. And you'll be able to see where you can find that link on your Wingspan. It's called Account Summary and Payment Gateway. But of course, if you guys have any issues finding it or paying it, please do not hesitate to contact the Office of Admissions. All right, now moving on to step number 4. Registering for orientation. And I'm always so excited about orientation, because not only is it when you guys come in and register for your classes, which is like makes it even more official that you guys are Winthrop Eagles, there's so many fun activities planned for you guys during orientation. So we have so much planned for you guys. So you always want to make sure to register as soon as possible. Spots are filling up, and you definitely want to get in the session that works best for your summer schedule. And you are required to attend both first flight of orientation and Eagles Landing. You can register for your orientation sessions through your application portal. Again, that's the account you created when you applied. But if you have issues trying to figure it out, give us a call or refer to that little booklet we sent in the mail a couple weeks ago. And once you've registered for orientation, you're even one step closer to getting those classes, which is definitely like you feel like you're part of the Winthrop community even more when you do that. Moving on to step number 5, Elizabeth, you want to take over from here?
Yes, so our next step and a very extremely important step is going to be to complete your South Carolina residency form. So if you are claiming South Carolina residency for tuition purposes, you do have to submit and complete this form. So until we have it, you are marked as an out-of-state student. So if you do see that on account, do not panic. It just means that you have yet to complete this form or we have yet to review it. And it is standard across the board. Everyone is marked as an out-of-state student as of right now until we do get that residency form. We also do need the form for you to get your state and Winthrop scholarships. So do be sure to turn it in as soon as possible. And I do want to make a quick note here as well. If you are an out-of-state student, this form is not required. So if you are an out-of-state student and you don't see this on your enrollment checklist, that is completely okay. You do not have to complete it. All right, and our next step is going to be to apply for housing. So before you start planning how to hang your fairy lights, what pictures you're going to hang, your towels, all of that, you do first have to apply for housing. So this is also done through your Wingspan account, which we did mention earlier. And once again, I do encourage you to submit this as soon as possible as well. That way you can get your chosen room, and resident assignments are given on a first come, first served basis. So again, just complete this sooner rather than later. That way you can get all of the information that is available for you. So that you are aware as well, housing and roommate assignments will be released for students in late July.
All right, thanks, Elizabeth. So the next step would be to accept financial aid. So by now, you guys have already received your financial aid package that has been sent to you via email, also in the mail. It's been posted to your Wingspan account. And in order for you guys to apply your financial aid towards your bill, you actually have to accept or decline any awards you were offered. Now, again, that term Wingspan that you guys have been hearing so often, that is where you're actually going to accept or decline any financial aid. So when you log into Wingspan, there is a financial aid tab. Then you'll be able to see to view your awards. You select the award year, and then you'll be able to see all the awards you've been offered, and that's where you accept or decline any loans. Or scholarships or grants. That way, when your bill is released in July, you'll be able to see your financial aid has already been deducted from the cost of attendance. And if you do have any out-of-pocket balance, it's already been all figured out for you guys because you have accepted or declined any grants or loans or scholarships. So the next step after this one, step number 8, would be to send your final transcripts in. So once you guys graduate from high school, you definitely want to make sure to get in contact with your guidance department and request to send us your final high school transcript to show proof of graduation that you completed all your high school prerequisite courses. This transcript actually does need to be official, so you cannot submit it yourself. You will have to get in contact with the guidance department and request that they submit your transcript on your behalf. If you are a transfer student, that goes the same for your college transcripts. You have to request your final college transcript to be sent to us as well. Now, if you guys have taken any dual enrollment courses, that means if you're a high school student that took college courses at a university or tech college or community college or wherever, we also, if you want to get credit for these courses, you do have to request official college transcripts to be sent to the Office of Admissions. That way, when orientation comes around and you're registering for classes, you won't have to retake any classes you've already taken because we'll apply that credit to your account. So it's very, very important that you submit these transcripts before orientation. That way, you're not registering for courses that you've already taken. So the same applies to AP and IB courses. If you've taken any AP or IB courses during your high school career, we will also need your official results to be sent directly to the Office of Admissions, preferably before orientation if possible. If not, we'll figure a way to figure out your schedule. But we do need official scores to be sent. That way we can apply any credit that you qualified for that goes towards your degree, so you do not have to retake any courses again at Winthrop. All right, Elizabeth, I believe the last couple steps you are letting them know.
Yes, so step 9 for all of our admitted students is going to be to submit your immunization form. So we want to make sure that everyone within our campus community is healthy and safe and up to date on all of their records. And you will be able to submit this form beginning May 1st through our online patient portal that can be found at this link here. So, and again, this is available for you May 1st. So if you try to do it today and you're not able, that is completely okay. And with our immunization form, there is an online portal for you to submit everything. So no paper required. And we do want to make sure that any questions are answered for you in regards to our COVID precautions and if the vaccine will be required. So Winthrop will continue to abide by the CDC and state regulations, and we will send updates over this summer regarding the vaccine and its requirement potential. All right, and our last step here is to celebrate. So not only have you been accepted, but you have completed all of your steps for enrollment and you are good to go until orientation over the summer. So bask in the moment, take a sigh of relief that you have nothing to worry about as of right now. And what's coming for you is an incredible orientation session. You'll get to meet new people and all of these exciting things. So definitely don't forget to take a minute and just celebrate your accomplishment. That way you can really take it all in. All right, so our next slide is just showing you what does come next. So before we get into the schedule, I'm going to let anybody who does have questions feel free to type them in the chat, and Ani and I would be happy to answer them. That way we can get any of those questions that you have. And I do see a couple of them in the chat as well. So Ani, if you want to help me answer some questions.
Yes, I answered one of these questions, but I'll just reiterate for anyone that just joined. So someone asked, does that apply to AP? I believe that covers the final transcripts and dual enrollment courses part. So yes, as I did mention, if you have taken AP or IB courses and you want to receive credit for these courses at Winthrop, that means you don't have to retake certain classes. We will need your official AP scores to be sent to us. So you'll have to get in contact with College Board or just log into your portal online and request to have your official score sent to us. And that way, when it's time to register for classes, you've already taken, you'll skip over a certain class or 2 or 3, depending on what you scored and what you took for AP. All right, so someone else asked, does using parchment count as it being sent from the organization? So yes, parchment, Naviance, all these portals are counted as official. So you just have to put the request in and we do count that as your official transcript. All right, I feel like I'm hogging the questions, Elizabeth, so feel free to answer anyone.
No, you are good, Ani, and I did answer one as well. We did have a question for students who do live near Winthrop if they're required to live on campus. And no, you are not. If you do live within 50 miles of our university, you do not have to live on campus. That is completely up to you, but there is an exemption form if you do want to live at home. So if this is something you're interested in, definitely reach out to your admissions counselor and we can send you that form. That way you can fill it out and send it over to Residence Life. All right, I am scrolling through. Ani, did you see any?
Yes, I got a question. Are there any particular immunizations to the new admissions need to have before admitting? So there are no particular new immunization requirements. All of the ones have been posted, have already been sent to you guys through that booklet. You can check the portal that Elizabeth sent right above that question, that you can see the requirements. They're pretty standard. Of course, if you do have any questions about the immunization requirements and submitting them, we encourage you to reach out to our Health and Counseling Services department, as they're the ones who process that information and will be able to tell you what you need to do and how you submit that. I did want to state though that the patient portal to upload your immunization documents won't be available until May. So if you're trying to upload it now, it's not going, not to worry, that is nothing wrong on your end. We just opened up that session for fall 2021. We opened it for May. So sometime mid-May, you should be able to access your patient portal and upload your documents.
All right, we did have a few questions about the enrollment deposit as well.
Okay.
So if you are submitting your enrollment deposit, it is going to say spring 2021. That's okay, don't panic. You will be able over the summer, it's going to change for you. So when you're submitting your enrollment deposit, there is nothing else you have to do. That switch is going to be made for you. And we did have another question about applying your FAFSA to your enrollment deposit. So that is going to be done really on an individual basis if you do qualify for it. I definitely recommend reaching out to your specific admissions counselor, and that would be something that we can check for you guys.
Okay, there's a really good question here that I see very often. My son is not staying on campus. He will be commuting, but I see his financial aid acceptance letter that they automatically include housing. How do we get this removed? Not to worry, your financial aid package is not your bill. It's just giving you a breakdown of costs, indirect costs, direct costs, and your financial aid. But in order to qualify to stay off campus, there is the housing exemption form you will need to fill out. And that is also located in that housing portal. But if you have problems locating it or you can't find it, just email us, get in contact with us. We'll send it to you, or we'll guide you through the Wingspan to find that form. And you'll have to fill out that form, get it notarized, and send it back to the Office of Residence Life in order for you guys to be able to stay off campus. And once that is approved, when you get your bill in July, you'll see that it will not include housing and your meal plan. All right. Oh, there's so many questions. And I did want to remind you guys not to worry. We are going to have a section at the very end of Winthrop Day where it's going to be open floor where you can talk to admissions counselors. So because if we don't get to all of your questions right now, please not to worry. Just tune in back with us later and we'll get to them. Elizabeth and I are definitely trying to filter through as many as we can before the next session.
We did have one about foreign language and math placement exams, Ani. So these exams are going to be taken over the summer. Now, this is where your Winthrop email comes into play because all of the information for these placement exams is going to be sent to your student email. So definitely make sure you're checking in with that and updating it. That way you can get any information regarding these, but they are going to be taken over the summer for most of our students.
Okay, awesome. All right, so I got a question here. I'm in the College of Arts and Sciences. If I've taken dual enrollment and or AP math courses, do I still need to take the math placement exam? So that is really depending on how you scored, which classes you took, and we'll get you in contact with the math department regarding that because they are the department that processes and works with the math placement exam. So Emily, since you asked that question, just reach out to us, reach out to admissions counselor, and we'll get you in contact with someone from the math department to verify that.
All right, and we did have another question about our residency form. So yes, your financial aid is based on your out-of-state tuition if you have not completed the South Carolina residency form. So if you did receive your financial aid package and it does have that amount on it, it is more than likely because that residency form has not been completed or reviewed. So once you do review this, your financial aid is going to be updated in your Wingspan account. So do just make sure again that you fill out that residency form as soon as possible so all of those changes can be made for you.
Okay. I did also see something about the deposit being applied toward the spring session. Not to worry, guys. Our cashier's office knows that when they see $300, that is for the fall enrollment deposit. We're just currently do bills and payments by semester, so that's why it says spring right now. But if you pay $300 and even in the comment section or the note section write enrollment deposit, our cashier automatically processes that and applies that as you having paid the deposit. If you've paid the deposit and you're not sure if it has been paid, just verify with us. Just give us a call, send us an email. It should show up on your portal, your application portal that you paid it. But if you're still wanting to double check, just give us a call or send us an email. All right, well, there's so many questions coming in.
All right, we did have a question from a transfer student about the housing exemption form. So no, our transfer students do not have to live on campus. So there is no housing requirement for our transfer students. I do just recommend reaching out to Residence Life, just letting them know that you will not need housing placement, but you do not specifically have to fill out the housing form, no.
And I did see a question about, does accepting financial aid secure a spot in Winthrop like the enrollment deposit? No, the enrollment deposit is only thing that solidifies your spot at Winthrop. Any other step that you take, whether that's creating your Wingspan account, accepting financial aid, completing housing, those are not in any way you're committing. You can always withdraw if you're having doubts. I did see a question about that. It's the deposit that secures your spot. And I did also see another question about on the financial aid booklet, it says something about a transportation fee. What is that? So your financial aid booklet is broken down by direct cost, indirect cost, financial aid, and your estimated cost of attendance after your financial aid kicks in. Indirect cost is not something we are billing you for. We only bill students for direct costs. Indirect costs are just costs we put there for you guys to consider when you come to Winthrop. And that does include you driving to and from your home when you're first coming to Winthrop. That also includes, we call it pizza money or miscellaneous. So if you don't want to stay on campus and have dinner, you go off campus with friends, or you go out and get groceries. It's just additional costs we put out there, the average cost for you guys to consider that if you want to have some extra pocket money, but it is not something we bill students for.
All right, we did have a question about our courtyard honors housing. So for our honors students, if you do want to live in the courtyard, you do have to complete both your housing form on Wingspan and a courtyard application housing form as well. So if you have completed both of those and sent them both in, you are all good to go in regards to courtyard. And again, everyone will get their room placement over the summer as well. All right. Okay, and then we did have a question about your enrollment deposit fee waiver. So again, this is going to be something that is done on an individual basis. So if you do have any questions about a fee waiver, do reach out to your admissions counselor. And this is something we will have to check to see if you qualify for, but definitely make sure you reach out to us and let us know. That way we can check this for you guys. All right, and then we had a question about parking on campus. So I'm going to answer about 2 more questions and then we're going to be done here and we will move on to our schedule for today. So parking on campus, all students can bring their car. So you can bring your car your freshman year. There is a parking fee that was included in that transportation fee, but our parking fee is only $100 per year for you to get that parking pass. But yes, you can bring your car all 4 years here as well. All right.
All right, and I do have to jump out to the next session. So anyone doing the breakout session with the student panel, I'll see you guys soon. Thank you, Elizabeth, for taking over from here.
Oh yeah. So our last question here I'm going to get to is our meal plans for commuter students. So we do have commuter specific meal plans. So as a commuter student, you do not have to have a meal plan, but if you want one, there are options out there for you as well. All right. So moving on to our rest of our Winthrop Day schedule. So up next, you have the option of joining a breakout session. And these are your 4 options here with our honors program, our financial aid information session, a parent Q&A, and a life on campus student panel. These options do also repeat at 10 a.m. So you have the option to choose and attend 2 different sessions today. Our other option is to check out our Student Support and Engagement Fair, which is where you can find any information about student life here at Winthrop and the many amenities that we do have to offer. The fair is also available throughout the entire day, as Christine mentioned earlier, so you can always check back at another time if you do choose to attend both breakout sessions. All right, and then our college breakout session as well. So our breakdowns here. So what majors are in what college is what you can find here. So before you leave, we want to make sure you know how to find your specific major knowledge session later. So here's a breakdown of all of our academic colleges. Look for your desired major and decide which one it falls in for you guys. For example, biology is under the College of Arts and Sciences, and sports management is under the College of Education, and so on and so forth. And again, if you do need any help, do feel free to let us know, and we can always point you in the right direction. All right, and really quick as well, if you are not sure what your major is, or we do have you as undeclared currently, be sure to check out our University College Major Knowledge session. So our University College is going to be where all of our undeclared majors go, or if you just don't have an idea of what you want to study right now, definitely do fall into this category. All right, so now it is time for you guys to attend your breakouts. Okay, and we did have a question about if your major falls under 2 different categories. Do just check to see which one that you are interested in attending today and just kind of pick one for today. All right, and again, so now it is time for your breakouts, and here is a link to our Winthrop Day portal to attend your next session, and I will ask Whitney to drop it in the chat for us as well. That way you can just click on it here. And again, if you do have any questions or need any assistance throughout the day, do make sure that you click the Need Help button on the top right or stay in here and we can help guide you as well. And again, thank you for joining us today, and please do enjoy your next sessions throughout our Winthrop Day, and congratulations again to our admitted students.